Not really.
My God, it's hot. I'm starting my videos this Saturday with the 2-year-olds because one of our clients, partner of ours, Jim Hassel, is here. And who do you got? Perfect Record? Who else? A bunch of Ohio Birds?
A bunch of Ohio Birds.
So Jim has rarely missed any training days. Now, you missed yesterday, though. Has rarely missed any training days here at Northfield Park. Where do you live at?
Lakewood, just about 30 minutes away.
30 minutes away, yeah. So Jim rarely misses, as I said, rarely misses the training days. We had a bunch more trained today, just slow today. These were the ones that trained really hard on Wednesday or Thursday. I went with Hill of Magic.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, so we didn't train anything Thursday, did we? Just Tuesday, Wednesday. Yesterday, Friday, Saturday. Yes, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, you can't correct me on my videos. That's one rule. I didn't tell you that.
Amy told me it was
Yeah. So I wanted to talk with the 2-year-olds. This is Jim, and he's got to see all of them. You've been in the game a long time too, right? I got to be careful when I talk on my videos. I'm always trying to talk to newbies, right? People out there that have absolutely no experience in horse racing, and sometimes I veer too far to the left or right where I'm talking as if nobody has experience, and then other times I'm talking as if people do have experience, and it's very difficult sometimes to talk about how the horses went from my point of view, but put it in terms that everybody understands. So, the luxury of having you here, you understand. I don't need to talk to you a whole lot about how the horses are going. I was happy with Hill of Magic today. That was the first time back to the bike hobbles on. You got to see me run Holy Chick. She runs fast, doesn't she?
Oh my gosh.
I galloped her a mile in 155 on Tuesday and galloped her a mile in 156 today. She's ready to roll. Now, it's not like trotting. She's a long way from winning in 55 or 56 on her perspective gait, but she does enjoy. Now, I'll let people from time to time ask me, why do you gallop? And it's interesting. So, anytime over the years, I forget who told, an old horseman. Oh, there's Greg. What's up?
You still want to go? Or
yeah, we'll go. I'm just doing a video right now. You want to jump in? Want to add your 2 cents? You always add. I always get emails from you. You can add your 2 cents publicly if you want.
About what?
Anything you want. Anything you want. Yeah, do you want to go eat lunch?
No, I can't.
Okay, so Jim's out for lunch, but I'll go, yeah.
Whatever, I'll follow you over.
All right, give me 10 minutes, all right? So, it's just we're loaded. We have tons of clients here today.
Yeah, I saw that.
With Holy Chick, the issue with Holy Chick is she hits on her jack and she'll brush her knees. So an old horseman, I remember this old guy used to run them, and I never understood why. And I didn't ask him. He volunteered it one day. He said, these horses that hit their knees and their jacks on the trot or the pace, they'll hit their knees plenty of time. Pacers will hit their knees, especially if you start going back a decade or 2 decades. You might get the odd one that really, really hits their knees. And he said, never see a horse run across the field and interfere. Never. I said, that makes sense. He goes, you gallop a horse that hits her knees or hits a trotter that hits behind, they won't hit themselves. And he said, you'll be able to get that exercise into them, some high-speed exercise into them without hurting them. Because it must be frustrating for a horse like Holy Chick, who wants to do her work, to go out and trot and interfere. So her left front foot would come up and hit her left jack, which is just below the middle of the hock, the top of that shin. She hits quite hard there. And a lot of horses do. And what we'll do from time to time is gallop them so that they don't. It allows them to get their confidence up, and they become a lot happier while we're getting... Hi.
Amy asked if you could watch her.
Not for a minute.
Okay.
You need 10 more minutes.
Sounds good.
I have declined the babysitting of my daughter. So yeah, when they run, so the number one question I always get from people that watch them is, why wouldn't they just run in the race? Why wouldn't they just swing into the gallop in the race if they like it so much? Because especially the ones you gallop like that, they want to do their work. They know what their work is. They know the difference between the work. You aren't going to swing Holy Chick towards the gate and see her swing into the gallop like she did today. She knows the difference. But her lag looks good because she's not hitting it, right? Her lag looks good. She feels comfortable. So it's a win-win all around. She gets some really, really hard work without any wear and tear on her body. And I think it'll pay dividends down the road, because when she did swing into the trot afterwards, she looked like she was trotting a lot more comfortable. So happy with her. Who else do we go with today? Voyage trained by himself. He was good. Now, my Jazz, I trained her in 25. I thought she was better. Still a little trepidation there on her feet, but much better. As I said the other day, around 98%. I think sound-wise she is. The vet's going to come this week. We're going to go all over her, because there will be spots that have popped up because she's been carrying weight everywhere. There inevitably will. You'll see a ripple effect in this filly for a few weeks. We're going to have to consistently try and put out little fires that were caused by a big fire, and at the same time make sure that that big fire is out and gone. So my Jazz, we're going to continue to work on that right front foot. I know her back is for sure tight. Her knees have become a little sore, but all this stuff will pass in time. She was good today. Mile and 25. I really wanted to go 2 trips and go a mile and 2.5 today, but I opted not to. We have a number of paths, a number of tricks up her sleeve over the next 2 weeks. What I didn't tell Jason was, if we do get her sound, there is a fair that she fits a week from Monday in Paulding. And I know Jason does not want to go to Paulding. But at the same time, if we get her sound, rather than rushing to get her ready to qualify, we can use Paulding as a qualifier. Although I don't know how good that track is, she would have to go in 2.2, 2.3 over Paulding for her to be qualified for a stake race, I believe. But if she's ready to qualify at Northfield Park on Thursday, she most definitely would be ready to race around a fair track on Monday. My perspective, anyway. Yeah. Now, that's not a certainty. We might. Do you want any shares in Jazz?
No.
No.
The other Jazz, Judy.
Oh, she's gone, eh?
Oh, she did leave?
Yeah. I qualified her Thursday. Unfortunately, she made a break leaving.
I saw
Track was muddy, and we just had her shot. There's a number of reasons she could have. She was fine after last half, 57.4, 58. Last quarter in 28.2, and drove away from them. She was very good. I talked to Jim King, and he happened to have a truck in the Meadows today.
Wow.
So I said, I can't race her now, right? It was going to be tough anyway to race her in an hours of 4. That's a lot to ask for Jazzy Judy. So I sent her down to Jim. Regardless, she has a flat line in 30 days. She's going to be able to race on the 16th, and I'm going to go there to drive her. But there wasn't a lot here for her. Now, there is a prep race they have carded next week. She can't race in that because she made a break in a qualifier. But he can re-qualify her. So I don't know what Jim's going to plan on doing, but she's ready to go. She doesn't make a break yesterday, and the track is in the shape Thursday that it is this morning. She probably trots in 57, no problem. So she was ready to go. So my Jazz, a number of avenues to go with her. I'm not really, although it's in my, I am a partner. I am a partner in my Jazz, so I too want to get her going, but at the same time, I know that there's some residual things that we're dealing with, and we were expecting them. I had the vet look at her again today. He thought her knees were a little sore. Obviously, that right front foot was still pinching her a little bit, and then her back was rather tight. So we'll draw her blood also tomorrow to make sure she didn't tie up. But if she did, obviously treat that. So who else do we go to?
You got to be Leaf.
Yeah, he looked good, eh?
Yeah.
Brody went with him. He looked good. Bomb Hugger, I saw, looked good out there also. Amy and I trained Harlan L. and Unbeatable Kemp together.
Oh.
Yep. Harlan was a little rough at the wire. We changed his shoes. Hitting his knee less, hitting his jack less. He's an enigma, that guy. I think we're going to put toe weights on him, and I'm going to have to go with him on... There's a lot of horses I want to go with on Thursday, and unfortunately I can't go with them all. So I really have to take a look at who I need to go with. I really wanted to go with Of Tom after yesterday's training mile, but I can't justify going with Of Tom in the qualifier, knowing that she is probably the most sure-gated horse we have in our entire stable.ca. Of Tom is probably the surest gated horse we have. I mean, anybody could go with her. I would love to go with her. I just can't justify knowing that I have 4, maybe 5 spots to go with and leaving one for her. I don't think it's going to happen.
Amy would let you know about Paulding as far as the track and the condition, because I'm pretty sure she knows that track.
Okay, Amy Holler, you mean?
Yeah, Amy Holler. And
she's not there anymore.
No, she's gone now, but she would let you know. And also, she would be able to check whether they actually chart the lines, because not all fairs chart the lines.
No, I didn't know that.
At least, well...
I did know that. I saw some of them. They just come up NR, and yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
well, I guess that was very important, because if they don't chart the lines, there's no point going there with that filly in particular.
Right.
That's a good piece of information. See, Jim, I knew there was a good reason I had you in here. So we'll go with all the 2-year-olds. Now I got a real good handle. I've talked to Harry. I've talked to Cindy and Jason about their couple that they have there. I talked to Johnny extensively via text yesterday. Mario I talked to this morning. We have a horse qualifying at 12:20. Spend that money. So I talked to Mario about that and all the horses he had yesterday. Obviously he was a little down in the dumps about Walk on the Moon. Scoped a tiny bit sick, but I suspect they were thinking that the blood work might show something a little bit more. But overall, a great day, a great last 2 days, especially after I almost got strung up the week before on Friday, Thursday and Friday. I had to change my address on the computer for a couple of days. So we're gonna get right to it. Do you know many of the Ontario breds? Do you watch all our horses or just the Ohio ones? You do?
No, I watch most of them.
Almost there, boss. 2 minutes the other day. Harry was happy with him. Now they took the flip flops off of him. He said he was a little rickety, but he had I had let his hobbles out and put flip flops on him, so he might just need to have those snugged up a little bit. Might need to go to the vet a little bit. Also, he went to the vet once. 3 ankles. 2 of the ankles ended up with tiny OCDs that were not there before, but they weren't really in an operable position where they were very concerned about them. So we'll see. I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but almost there, boss. 2 minutes. Very strong. Just need to snug his hobbles up, Harry believes. He also said that he thought he had a little sickness. He didn't know if he could go next Friday. But so we're planning all of our horses here except for 3 Point Blue Chip. Now Duke Dio, I'm not going to rush to qualify him. He did train in 2-4 last half and 1-1 by himself, but I'm not qualifying him next Thursday. That's one big jump for him. So we'll wait. And then yesterday we found out. Now you watch all my videos, you say. I don't know if you really do or you just say that.
No,
but,
I watch all.
So then you know, Luck of the Dragon. They found an entrapment yesterday in his epiglottis. Now we've seen this before. It sounds like a very serious mechanical issue, but it's not. It's more of a frustrating situation. It used to be in the older days that it was a procedure. You had to go to the university, knock the horse out, trim that pallet up. Now they just do it right in the shed row.
Yeah.
So we had one done here 3-4 weeks ago. I can't remember who it was, but I know we had Perfect Record was done.
Yeah, there was another one on the other side that was done.
Yeah.
One of the 2-year-olds.
Yeah.
I'm not going to remember.
So,
either.
as I said in my video the other day, it varies for every horse. When I was training Perfect Record, it just seemed like he was so-so. There's no noise. You can never think that he had an entrapped epiglottis, but he did. And there's a severe power outage. And Luck of the Dragon, we trained him here 2 weeks ago, and we had scoped him maybe 3 weeks ago after a training trip, but he trained pretty good. Got a little bit sick after that, and when we trained him 2 weeks ago, he did not train good, and the vet had already left. So I didn't want to call him back just to scope a horse, just for him to say, he's a little sick or whatever. We just assumed he was sick, gave him a week of easy work, and then went back and worked him yesterday, and he wasn't that strong. He went a mile in 2:3. Keep in mind, this is a horse that we paid into the Next Generation Series. 2:3, I'm sorry, getting beat by Tom just isn't going to cut it. So I'm angry, right? I'm not angry at the horse. I mean, it's pretty hard to be angry at any of the horses when they're doing their work. But I'm angry because I don't know how this horse could go from... Now, when you look at the other side, you see Procrastinator went from really, the outhouse to the penthouse, really. He went from that horse is no good to where did this horse come from? You can have the other thing happen too.
Sure.
Go from a horse that we all love and think is a great horse, and we've seen it way too many times, but we've seen it, and then just turn into a terrible animal. So I'm thinking maybe he's not as good as we thought he was. I don't know. Sure enough, they scoped him, and the epiglottis was entrapped. It couldn't move properly. So they have to go in. Usually it's just some rough edges. Do you know?
Yep.
So usually some rough edges. You just got to trim them up. It's no big deal. Now the downtime and the lack of training fast, it may actually keep him out of the Next Generation Pacing Series. But as I would like to remind everybody, we have other horses that are eligible. We can sell that spot if we don't feel that those other horses are up to snuff and ready to go. If Procrastinator goes out, now he's been coughing today, Procrastinator. We put him on a little antibiotics, so this will be about his 42nd time being sick.
I know.
So he's an expert at it. He doesn't come off his feed now. He just coughs a bit. So we have him on Exceed. I did want to run a DMSO jug. Well, it's all the vet. Would you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you ask the vet if they wanted to run a DMSO jug into
Procrastinator?
Procrastinator? Because he was coughing today. So, at the end of the day, we have multiple options and paths and avenues for for the pacing side. If we decide that by some stroke of magic that Luck of the Dragon is good enough and is tight enough and is sharp enough to go, then he can go. If we go the other way and decide that he really isn't ready to go, and that epiglottis took a week, 10 days. Because it took a week or 10 days, he missed 2 very strong training trips in getting him ready. Yes. What?
Yeah, the X-ray.
And? Nothing? That's good.
He said, well, if he's still bad, Monday will walk back.
I don't think it's his foot.
He said there's just some very, inflammation in the third.
Yeah. Did he
told me
test
to-
him?
Told me to see her.
Okay. Did he put the testers on his feet? So why don't you ask him if he can do that? Just say, do you want to put the testers? Just ask him if he wants to put the testers on his feet. It's my go-to move. Just put up the window and you get the answer you want. So we're gonna get back into the horses here. Almost there, boss. 2 minutes. They said he was very strong, a little bumpy, but very strong. Not that worried about it just yet. I mean, obviously the speed's there, the toughness there. We're talking about almost there, boss. Again,
Yep.
Speed and toughness is there. So 2 very big key components of any good horse. Amor Diener, 2-2 last half, 58 the other day for Mario at Mohawk. Mario's horses look real good. Very happy. I shouldn't say they look good. I haven't seen them, but from what I hear just from Mario and the spies that I have watching them go, they look very good. Archer's Rainbow. So Johnny texted me the other day, said, Anthony, he said, I don't know whether just, she gets stretched out or what. He said, 2-3, but she didn't feel like she wanted a whole bunch more. He said, but she did cough afterwards. They scoped her. She was sick. I said, well, why don't you draw her blood? Because there's 2 types of mucus you're going to see in the throat. There's allergy mucus, which is pesky and has been a real problem for us over the last 3, 4, 5 years. And then there's sickness, right? And 2 very easy. One you can treat and clean up, and one not so much. So I said, why don't you draw her blood and see what the blood says? White count was a little high. Neutrophils and lymphocytes were flipped, so the differential was flipped, showing that she is sick. She's getting sick. White count was high. It's not shocking. But the most shocking portion of her blood was that her AST was 2,400. So she had tied up. So not only was she sick, but she was tied up and still mustered a mile in 2-3 last half in a minute at Mohawk. He was expecting to come 28 and go a mile in 2-1. Instead, he come 30 seconds and went 2-3. And she tied up. And that's a fairly significant number. You're not talking about a little tie-up. That's enough to scratch a horse. That's enough not to enter one next week. And it's certainly more than enough to say, oh, she wasn't that good. That's a huge number. Not a number that you'd be like, oh my God, that's very bad. But enough that 2-3 is an impressive mile with that blood work showing a high white count and a very elevated AST. Yeah, that's a big deal. So good for the fact that she obviously has a lot of talent to be able to do that. Secondly, when Johnny gets her under control, it's game on. I suspect she won't qualify next Friday. There's no rush. It's Ontario. They've all been going pretty good. She can miss a week and go back the week after, and Johnny knows that. Better Be Sawyer. Harry told me, he said, this thing's just a little machine. He said, I'm not going to tell you she's going to win any Grand Circuit races. He said, but she is an absolute sweetheart. Harry absolutely loves her, which I knew he would. She's a perfect fit for Harry Polton. Blue Bayou Dio got beat. I told everybody nobody wants any piece of her. She got beat. Mischievous Rose got her at the wire the other day, apparently. Johnny said he must have.
Both of them.
Yeah, Johnny said, I think Mischievous Rose must have taken it personally when we said that nobody wanted any piece of Blue Bayou Dio. He said, I got away in behind her. He said, we were marching. He said, we had to come 27-3. And he said, right at the wire, he said, I got up and beat him. He said, so old Rosie must have taken it pretty serious when she got the call that she couldn't beat Blue Bayou Dio, because both fillies were excellent, but Johnny said he was very happy with both of them, but super happy with Mischievous Rose. Where are we at now? Blue Bayou. Bomb Hugger. Did you see her go the other day?
I didn't see. Oh, the other day I did.
Yeah, when she went in 59?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, half in 57-3. She looked like a monster. This filly is exactly what I thought she was. The only thing is now is how good is everybody else's fillies. She went in 59. We'll qualify her back in 2-1. There's no need to stretch her out again. This is a filly I want to go with. Every fiber of my body wants to go with Baumhugger, but if I can't, I can't. And I really have to take a look at. Travis is coming, thankfully. Says he is anyway. He's coming to go with A couple of horses. Matt's MVP gets along good with him.
Yeah.
So Travis is going to come over and go with him. He went with Bomb Hugger also and likes her, so it'd be a good fit. Even any one of those kids, Justin's got a great set of hands on him too. Somebody said he won 6 races last night in Michigan.
Yep.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
So, and Chris and Luke will be at the qualifiers also. So it's not like we don't have anybody to go with them. So Bomb Hugger was absolutely awesome the other day. Century Invictus was good. They said he won a mile in 2 minutes, 2-1, I believe. They said his hind ankles were a little cracky afterwards, which could be nothing. But up to the vet, had him looked at. Nothing of any significance. She did do his hind ankles with acid and said they were dry, which is, again, not shocking. I wouldn't even make a note of it other than he was to the vet. And he'll be qualifying next week, I suspect. What else we got? Confederate Cruiser. Did you see him train the other day?
Yep.
2 minutes last half, 57, and he was smoking on the end of it.
He looked real good.
I don't know how good he is, but he's a good little colt. He's the type of horse where, for what we paid for him, for what he's done, for what we need him to do, there shouldn't be a human being that has been or will be involved with Confederate Cruiser that could ever be upset. He's just a super, super handy colt, and he looks real good. Duke Dio. I didn't think Duke Dio would be ready for 3 weeks. I figured 2.8 yesterday with him. I ended up getting over the half a little quick. I felt he was trotting strong, so I didn't want to interrupt him when he was doing such a good job. So I just let him coast along. 103 to the half. He won a mile in 2.4 all by himself and did it very well. Very happy with this colt. What else do we got here? LSL. Did you see him training the other day?
No.
2-2 last half in a minute, but I expected a mile in 2 minutes last half in 58. And he just kind of fizzled out halfway down the lane. And I said, geez, he's a little underweight. I don't like how he looks. We scoped him, a little bit of mucus, not much there. But drew his blood. His white count was high. So we ended up putting him on some antibiotics. We got him eating good again now. He really does need 50 or 60 pounds, that horse, badly. And could be a nice colt. Going to be a useful horse regardless. But for him to be a stake colt, either a stake colt or a Stallion Series colt in Pennsylvania where he needs to go, he's got to put some weight on, pick it up. And sometimes when you really stretch them that first time, they feel a little like Of Tom. We went 2.6, 2.5, 2.5, 2.6. It just seemed like I had even said to my wife the other day, I said, I think once she starts getting some races in, I think I might even have said it in the video, might need 4 or 5, 6 races, and she'll start to pack on that real good muscle she's going to need. Maybe she took it seriously too, because she certainly packed it on in a hurry. Where that mile came from yesterday, I don't know, but she did it very easily and springboarded herself again to pretty well the top of the heap. Isa 10 has looked great. We'll get to her in a minute. In fact, we'll get to her right now. Isa 10 is next. She looked great. She's touching her knee like she always did, not a big deal. Touching his shin, which she likely always did also. Now that she's going faster, a little more torque into those strikes. And is that a problem for her? It might be. It might keep her, and I don't want to say it. I'm not going to talk with the next generation because she went a mile 2.1 yesterday by herself, come a half in a minute. I thought she just danced from a mile 59, no problem. She just felt a little uncomfortable. Now we've been changing her shoes and changing her equipment, so it's not that shocking. And Amy's like, well, is she the best filly or is she not? I said, listen, it could change. We're lucky in a position where we have 6 trotting fillies in Ohio. All 6 could be sire stake horses. All 6. There's no joke. When you look at 1 through 6, that could change at any point. If you're sitting here saying, Anthony, I need you to tell me the best Ohio bred filly you have right now this second, it has to be Of Tom, the way she went yesterday. Although Purple Aura, you must have saw her go.
Yep.
2 minutes. Big mile for that filly. 2 minutes. Looked great. And Isa 10 can trot 57, 58. No doubt in my mind. There's not going to be any speed scare that filly. It's just, can she get back to a level of comfort? And how quickly will that take with her touching a knee and touching a shin? Lots of horses hit themselves. Listen, globetrotting mauled herself her whole life. Knees, shins, all the time. And can always go fast. So, is that an option? Isa 10 has never needed or ever been suspected of ever needing a set of trotting hobbles in her life. But if it's going to build that confidence, it's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't shy away from it. Well, we'll see. As of right now, the fastest filly we have is Of Tom. Second is Purple Aura. Third is Isa 10, 2-1. What are the other fillies we have?
Hill of Magic.
Hill of Magic made a break the other day. She was going to go a mile in 2 minutes, but she didn't.
Yeah.
So she's going to have to go to the back of the bus. But make no mistake, she's as powerful as any filly we have. Hill of Magic was great again today. Who else we got? Sweet on Pete.
Sweet on
She
Pete.
made a break and ripped his shoe off, but I know she tried a 2-1 right now, no problem. That brings her up into the mix also. There's one other filly. We're missing one more. There's a 6th. 1-2 skip a few.
Oh yeah.
She's not quite as fast as the other fillies, but she's durable and she is tough as a. Where I'm from, the saying is that person or that horse is tough as a boiled owl. I don't know where that saying came from. It really makes no sense, but she is as tough as a boiled owl. Mile and 2-2 last half, 59 yesterday, no problem. Just show her where her work is, and she'll get it done. Now she's not going to go out and win in 55 or anything, but she's a worker. You know, she reminds me of filly we raced last year. My Jazz. Reminds me a lot of her. So, Isa 10 was good yesterday, but slid a little bit. She's got to pull her pants up. Got to pull her dress up. Garden State Dio trained great again. I didn't get a time for Garden State Dio. I suspect the way they were going, it was somewhere between 2-1 and 2-3. This filly, you know about her sister. I mean, this is a powerhouse of a filly, and I suspect of all our New Jersey breds, 3 Point Blue Chip likely is not going to the Meadowlands at the end of the month. It makes no sense. It's a horse we've staked to every stake on earth. We got him x-rayed again today. See how those knees were coming. Little inflammation in the third carpals. I think we knew that. A lot of 2-year-olds are going to have that this time of year. But his knees were good. Open, but good. We haven't done any vet work, I don't think, on this guy. So other than, I think, a splint maybe was tried out on him. Maybe not either. The vet said we'll see how he is on Monday. Trained great yesterday. Little pinchy today, but he's a big colt. It's not that shocking.
Yes, he's pretty big.
He's a big boy. People don't realize, because you've seen him on the videos. It's kind of like when you see your own kids in front of you, and then you run into somebody that hasn't seen you for like 4 or 5 months. You're like, oh my God, your kids got so big.
Yep.
And you don't notice it. It's like that with the horses. We see 3 Point Blue Chip every day, so it's like, yeah, he's a big colt. And then you see something, oh my God, that colt's a monster. And you're like, yeah, he's big. No, he's huge. But he really is a big colt.
Yep.
Grace, 2-2, 2-3 again. She's been just a treat all year. We had her sister last year interfered everywhere. We sold her after her first start. She was okay. She tried 2 minutes, I think, and then we sold her right away. This filly's put together properly and good and doesn't really interfere that much at all. Nice filly. Very interested to see what's going to... She's a grassroots filly probably, but I'm very interested to see what she's going to do all year. So Grace is good. Granite Hill, 2-6 the other day. Now I didn't notice until they went on the trip. I didn't notice at all until he told me after. They put Billy Davis's little pacing bike on Granite Hill, who literally is a monster.
Yeah.
And hit everywhere all over the bike. It sounded like a marching band behind me when we were training. So he still won a mile and 2.8, never made a break. But the thing I like the most about this guy is he's getting better. Every time he goes on the track. Now, you haven't seen him a lot, but you might have seen him when he first got here the first couple of weeks,
Yep.
run and rip shoes off. Now he's getting good. He was pretty good for Justin the other day. So he'll qualify this week. I'd like to see a mile 2.4, 2.5 at him this week, to be honest. Harlan L, changing. We'll get him. But I'm not sure what he'll be. It might be an overnight horse, might be a Stallion Series horse. He'll be a useful horse, so I like Harlan. Trained him in 2.4. Then we come back with him in 2.5. Today we went a mile 30, and he was fine. He did make a break at the wire. That's his go-to move. Make a break at the wire. And I think it's because he hit his inside knee, so we have him hung up to run out. But in the middle of the straightaways, he'll get into that left jack. So there's that teeter-totter where we have to give enough where he doesn't maul himself in the turns, and don't take enough away that he's into that right jack in the straightaways. So I think just 2 line pulls, toe weights on him for Thursday. I have to go with Harlan L on Thursday, so he's definitely going to be on my list. Harvard Yard trained well, schooled well. I saw her yesterday. She did get big. She's schooling right now. They're happy with the way she's done her work. I believe she's been in 2.6 maybe. She's going to qualify, I think, Tuesday or school Tuesday at the Meadows when they do all their work. Kathy with an eye is done for the year. She's going to come over here next week and then be turned out for the summer. Luck of the Dragon, as we talked about, had that entrapped epiglottis. That's got to be operated on. It doesn't have to be operated on, although it is an operation, I suppose. It's in the barn. Not a big deal. Massive Profit made a break on Brody yesterday, but it was only because he was going too much and I roared up to him. And when he heard what I had said to him, slow down.
Oh, yeah.
He grabbed a hold of him and he made a break, but he grabbed a hold of him quick. It wasn't a big deal. It happens. Not the end of the world. Matt's MVP, tried to pull up in the last turn yesterday and made a break. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He didn't spend a lot of time in the front end ever training. So he just kind of wandered to the outside. And when I roared at him and snapped him with the whip, he rolled off stride. But he was doing his work well up until that moment. Miss Mildred, Johnny said, is an absolute rocket ship. He said he won a mile in 2 minutes, come with like 27 seconds. He said, Anthony, I just sat last. He said, just sit last, sit last, sit last. Just keep filing her right coming out of the turn, and as soon as she gets a clear path, go. And she just blew right by them all. And he said she is an absolute, that's what he called her, a rocket ship. Mischievous Rose was fantastic again. Of Tom, I couldn't be any happier. If a horse had kicked me at 10 o'clock in the morning yesterday, and she had a train like that at noon, I still would have left the barn with a smile on my face. That's how happy I was when Of Tom trained good. 1-2 skip a few, trained great, very happy with her. Now, reports are very good at Peanut Butter and Jelly out of Ontario from Harry. He said he was very, very happy with this filly this week. All these Better's Delights kind of dog it until they get to the track, so it's really hard to get a really optimistic read on them. But Peanut Butter and Jelly, I was happy with her. And I know that Harry was very happy with him the other day. Prairie Fire, 2 minutes. Did you see him go the other day?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah,
He
looked
was
very good.
exceptionally good. He was trying to run down Bomb Hugger, and I could have told him that ain't going to happen. But he gave me a run for my money down the lane.
Yeah.
2 minutes last half. He had to come out 57-4, 58. He looked very, very, very good. Procrastinator. The only thing that will keep him out of the qualifiers is the sickness persists. Just light jogging. He trained yesterday, so just light jogging out of him for the rest of the week. Will draw his blood on Tuesday to make sure his white count and everything is down. I believe they're running some DMSO into him right now and some Exceed, which is an antibiotic. If he doesn't qualify this week, it's not the end of the world. Most importantly is getting him back healthy. He doesn't seem sick, though. I think it's just a dry cough type thing. Purple Aura, shocking training trip out of her. That's the first time she'd ever had the hobbles on in her existence.
Oh,
I put them on, went on the track, and trained her in 2 minutes. She'd never had them on in her life.
Oh.
Yeah, ever. So she was exceptionally good. Trained her again this morning. She was good. Very good again. What else do we got? Renegade Gypsy, he's been in 2-2, 2-1 with, which he might have fibbed. I think my sources say he might have won a little more. But they also said he looked fantastic. If you'd seen him up close, like we can talk about all the ones we like, but you won't find a better looking horse than Renegade Gypsy. He looks like an exceptional animal. Resolute Bay, Johnny's happy with him again, continues to be happy with him. Rose above it, 2-3 last half and 59 yesterday, and I actually got up and beat Procrastinator. Now, he let me coast up alongside, but once, he's like a little pit bull. Once he sinks his claws into you, he's going to get you. And he was grinding and grinding and grinding right to the wire, and we finished together, but I did get up and get him, and Rose above it. I don't know how fast he'll go. Like, he can trot in 2-1, he already has. And as he gets better and confident, will that turn into 55, 56? I don't know. But he's going to be a fun little horse to drive this summer. Rosie's Masterpiece is very good. The vet work we had done on her has worked well. Mario said she was exceptionally good the other day training. Slim Jimmy, 2-2 last half, 58. Jimmy just asked me off camera, is he coming here to qualify? No, qualifying Mohawk. Slim Jimmy, nothing bothers him. Nothing. It wouldn't bother me to put him on a truck and ship him over here and race him 2 days later. Nothing bothers Slim Jimmy. So he'll come over here when we get him qualified. Spent, trained in 2-3, 2-4, looked good again. Very good, very happy with him. Stonebridge Dolce, they said, was going a mile in 2-5, but the tractor was out. And she's terrified of everything like that. Now, the good news is she's never got to race against tractors. So that's good.
Yeah.
Bad news is she made a little break when she did, but they said, Anthony, she was flawless before then. She just really got terrified of the tractor and made a break. But they said she's been trotting good, which is music to my ears, because I really like that filly. Stonebridge Chicati, Mario said, has done a complete 180 and has turned into a very, very nice colt. 2-4 with him last half, 58. I'll wait and see him next week. All these horses we're talking about, for the most part, the only horses I have concerns about is the horse that was sick a little bit in Ontario, Archer's Rainbow. Almost there, boss. Might not qualify right away. But for the most part, all these horses are ready to go. Sweet on Pete, as we talked about, trained in 2-5. She can trot. If she trotted in 2-1 or 2-2 on Thursday next week, it wouldn't shock me at all. Very nice filly. 3-Point Blue Chip is not qualifying next week. Did train this week and trained well. He'll continue to train well. But this is a horse we've staked every stake in the universe. Everything. I think we even have him in a late closer in Pluto. He's paid into everything. And there's no rush with him. He is getting big. He is a giant. Just going to take our time with this guy. Ty went on, they say, continues to look good. She'll be coming to Pennsylvania soon enough. 2-2 or 2-3 the other day. Very good, they said. Tioga Sunshine, same thing. Harry said, I really didn't know how fast she'd go, but I think she's going to be a really quality filly, a good filly now. Now, that's probably a grassroots horse. Who knows? But much like Tipsy and Dixie was last year, there was one week I screwed up, and I forgot to enter her for Mario in the grassroots, and we just threw her in the gold, and she was third, beat like 2 lengths, and raced huge. And this is that type of filly. Exact same cut, same everything.
I forget. What's her breeding?
She's a muscle mass.
Muscle.
Yep, muscle mass. Twinbee Habanero's training good now. I think he's been in 2.8, 2.9. He's a little bit behind everybody else. I told them to take their time with that guy also, so he won't be qualifying next week, but maybe 2-3 weeks away. Twinkle in Her Eye, they said, was much better this week. Really sparked her up, so that's good to hear. Again, one of those better's delights. It just kind of jog it until you get them in to go. Unbeatable Kemp, I trained him by himself. You see him go the other day?
Yeah.
2 minutes last half, 58. He was very good. Very good. Especially for a horse that is not well known to be a good trainer by himself.
Yeah.
He was very good today, the other day. You got to believe trained good today, but trained good again the other day. 2-3, he's ready to rock.
Yep.
He'll be ready to go. He'll be a handy little fella. Voyage of Ice and Fire. Did you get to see him go off the gate?
Oh,
Thursday?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 59 last half,
Oh, no,
57 apiece.
I saw him the last time.
No. This week after the qualifiers, we snuck him out. Wednesday. Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Yeah, it was Wednesday. 59 and 2. Last half, 57 and 3 or something. He was very, very good. And then Will DeWitt Hanover, of course, heartbreaking story there. She's going to miss the season, but she might be better for it next year. And then World for 2, again, ready to go. I think Mario said 2 minutes, 2-1, something like that. I can't wait to see him on video. I suspect he'll be in to go next week, but he may not. May need 2 weeks. So, what's your take on Ohio so far? 23 horses here we've been training. How do they look?
Well, I've been watching the videos that they've been doing with the 2-year-olds at different places and stuff like that, and they're certainly at the same level or better than the miles that those guys have been talking about, and ladies.
Yep.
Rosie was on last week, and so they're definitely on the schedule to be where they need to be.
Yeah, I think, at the end of the day, there's no point hiding them. They are what they are. And I think of all our horses, they're all going to be useful horses. The ones that are here, the 6 trotting fillies, the 4 trotting colts, and the 3 pacing colts, all look exceptionally well to me. I'm very, very happy. This is the deepest group we've ever had. Even the year we globetrotting, we had some mediocre horses behind those horses. But when you look at 1 through 13, you have a tough time getting to 13. It's a good group, a good solid group top to bottom, and I'm extremely happy with everything I've seen here. Even the PA breds, Rose above it has looked very, very good. Happy with him. LSL, I'm sure once we get a little weight on him, get him healthier and happier. Again, nice colt. Even Harlan, he's fast enough. Just got to get his head in the game, and it's coming. So we're having a great summer, a start to the summer over here. We'll see if we get to Paulding next week. No guarantees. Again, I want to check into the charting now that you said that. But it is 2.5 hours away. Will we show up there for sure? No. I'd say it's a coin flip at this point.
Well, you will let us know, though, so we can plan our trips.
Absolutely, I will. I can tell you the biggest obstacle between here and Paulding is Jason McGinnis. He's not going to want to go to Paulding, I can guarantee. But I'll go.
But you do need to check with Amy.
I'll check with Amy. If they're not charting lines, I'm not really that interested in it. Right. But there were some horses I didn't mind running over there. I'm a Lovely Lady's not going to be in this week at Northfield Park coming. Little rip down to Paulding. She loves nothing more than to win. She's a winner. So rip down to Paulding for her may not be the end of the world. I wouldn't want to take Mama that far to race on a tight track. She's doing things very well right now. I'd like to leave it like that. But My Jazz, again, might be a feather in our cap if we could do that. But we'll see. Lots of things we could do. Nothing is set in stone for Paulding next week at all. But what is set in stone is that we do have 20 to qualify next Thursday. Plus Holy Chick. And a big update also. Did you see Globetrotting train today?
No.
Oh, you missed it.
I missed that.
Globetrotting was exceptionally good today. 55 off half and 59 and 1.
Ooh.
And she was no hobbles. No hobbles. So we're going to back her up mile in 58 or 59 next week and then qualify her the week after. No rush with this filly, but she looks good. Very good. So that's your 2-year-old plus Jim Hassel video. We'll be back. Summer is starting. I am super happy. There's an exhibition. There's a fair by our house today. I'm going to take the kids down there.
Oh.
Then we got Welland down tonight. We get the Battle of Lake Erie tonight. big night here in Cleveland, Ohio. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I am. Are you, Jim?
Oh, yes.
Having a good weekend? I'm liking
Yeah.
the glasses. I like the glasses. All right. Take care.